Thank you very much. I'm now opening the meeting. Can I welcome you all to our fourth remote meeting of the Economy and Culture Scrutiny Committee.
Scrutiny committees are a very important part of the Council's business. They provide challenge, they provide policy development, and they give backbench councillors an opportunity to find out what the Council's doing in more detail, but also to give recommendations and observations which then shape future development.
I'd like to welcome for this item Councillor Hugh Thomas, Leader and Chair of the Cardiff Music Board, Councillor Peter Bradbury, Cabinet Member for Culture and Leisure and also a member of the Cardiff Music Board.
It's incredibly important for councillors to get involved because they learn so much about what the council's doing, but are able also to shape the direction that Cardiff is going in.
This item is to enable members to consider the impact of the coronavirus pandemic on the music sector in Cardiff, how to support the sector and how best to aid the recovery process.
In our committee we have councillors who have strong concerns about the environment, and they're able to shape policy development with that regard. When we have been considering parks, when we've been considering developments in the city, we've also got people on the scrutiny committee who have strong business links, and they've been able to shape development, the economic development of the city as well. This year has been an unprecedented year, and you know, we've had to cope as a council, we've had to cope as scrutiny, doing things we didn't think we would be doing. And of course we've been meeting remotely, and that's been a challenge in itself, but members have coped admirably. And in fact, the engagement and the back and forth between scrutiny member and cabinet member has been just as robust as if you were in a face-to-face setting. And I think that's a testament to the quality of the officers and the members we've got on scrutiny, but also the cabinet and how willing they are to respect and listen to scrutiny.
We have a question from Ishan, who's our youth council rep.
Thank you, Chair. So as our economy is entering a post-COVID era with all the stocks rising, especially after the unveiling of the vaccine, as well as the vaccines being rolled out potentially in the new year and being mass produced after that. So what ambitions, goals, aims and objectives do you have for the music industry, and do you already have a plan of action set in stone?
The Economy and Culture Scrutiny Committee has had probably a unique role this year, in that a lot of what we've had to consider has been confidential.
Required to consider the presentation and all appendices in a closed session to discuss information deemed exempt.
But what I can say is that we have provided some robust questioning on some of the major developments going forward in Cardiff.
Just one quick question on the use of space, indoor space. So when you mentioned perhaps some of our bigger venues, are we subdividing those off at all? Are we allowed to, even under the current rules, so that you can get two groups of 15 people or whatever it happens to be at the time?
The Cabinet has listened. I like to think that we've had quite a positive impact in the way that some of the developments which we're going to see in the next 2 to 3 years are going to develop, and how we are responding to other issues which have arisen during COVID.
Do you want to add anything, Laura?
Yeah, and I think, just touching on that work that we're doing from a strategy point of view and the system, this is about that network of providers, anyone and everyone who's got that interest in physical activity to be able to support us to do this.
I'm looking forward to being able to get scrutiny to make a major impact in the way we recover from the pandemic. How we recover getting people back into work, how we recover as the economy of Cardiff in terms of our events, our tourism, our culture, our sport, and how we can improve the communities of Cardiff. We've seen during the pandemic how much people respect their communities, how much they love their parks. Let's see what we can do as a city in order to keep that progress going forward, and scrutiny has an important role in that, in terms of shaping how our communities feel and how they look. Where we do need to improve is how we engage more with the public. This year, lots of organisations, not just Cardiff Council, has been finding new ways. The pandemic has forced us to find new ways of engaging with people, whether it's more online, whether it's more surveys. And I want to see Cardiff and Cardiff Scrutiny take the lead in this, be someone at the forefront of how we engage with the public, find out what they think of council decisions, find out what they want changed in terms of council policies, and find out what their priorities for the future. And let's work together to scrutinise what the priorities of Cardiff's people are in order to guide the Cabinet and to guide the future direction of the Council.